Howdy, folks. How y'all doing today? I never really went over this, but I've got, a bunch of headphones that I've purchased and sold, and I've got a collection that has floated to the top. It's not actually that big, and most folks that have listened to my channel for a while probably know exactly what I'm going to talk about, but I just thought I'd go over them. Why not, right? Okay, so let's go over these are my pick for budget pick. Sorry, what can I say? So, yeah, this is my budget pick. These are $275 retail. These are the Tanch Gym Oxygen. They are 10 millimeter dynamic driver. What I like about them, I'll just kind of go over this with all of these. So these are metal build. These are my beater pair, so to speak, but also they're my more discerning audiophile pair for a couple reasons. Metal build, indestructible, probably, give or take. They are diminutive in size. They're very, very small. They fit in my ears. If I fall asleep with them, I don't have to worry about anything happening, that sort of thing. So they fit me really well. Short stems, my ears just happen to like, and things like that. Um, so I love these because of basically they're a Harman frequency tuned curve done near perfect. They have really, really rich mids. They have a lot of high mids, but just enough to give you excellent transients in most all music. Very similar to an all balanced armature set. Their frequency response goes far above 10K. And so among all the sets I have, these actually have probably the best treble response. They have more energy at like 15K than almost anything out there. There are some exceptions to the rule, but in terms of musicality, these are top notch for producing that much level of detail, the wideness of sound, the organic, rich quality of the mids. Yeah. So I tested these out from one of my friends and had to send them back. And then like a couple months later, I'm just realizing like, geez, I think I better buy these. Talked to my friend. He's like, oh, I don't really use those. So I just bought them off him. So those are the original pair I tested. Of note, the cable sucks. This is like the stock cable, and it's just this like thick, stiff, nasty cable. Does it matter? Not really. But, just in case you care. So that's my budget pick pair. $275. A bunch of other folks have bought these and were like fairly shocked in terms of how good they are. If you compare them to say like the Sony single dynamic drivers, say like the EX1000, the EX800, well, I far prefer these. They don't have any weird peaky qualities, but they have all of the right stuff. They have all of the detail, all of the wide sound, all of the bass slam. Some folks even told me that these had low bass, and it's like, well, maybe find a better device. I don't know. I didn't really have to mess with the bass on them. They have incredibly good bass, tactile, sub bass, all that stuff, good slam. So, yeah. Budget pick, Tanch Gym Oxygen. Let's move on. So, I haven't actually talked about these at all yet. I bought these. These are like actually my first high-end pair of headphones ever. Let's see, get those. Yeah, these are the Moondrop A8, and to this day, I find myself not being able to sell them because they're so gorgeous. Also, the sound quality is fantastic. Also, they're my only all balanced armature set that I actually enjoy listening to. Which, if folks have listened to me over the year or whatever I've been making videos, I'm a bass head. I like bass, and balanced armature bass generally does not do it for me, and these do. They have 8 balanced armatures. They have 2 of the big, I think they're the Knowles 22995, something close to that. Tons of sets have had these over the last few years, but this set, I really don't know. I'm sure it's the damper and the configuration, but the bass on these sounds like a dynamic driver. It has none of that like rolled off quality that so many sets have, all balanced armatures with balanced armatures for bass. It These have, I mean, like, if you were to just listen to them, you might actually think they were one dynamic driver. They're incredibly coherent. They don't have pushed OCD treble, which I'm going to probably do a video on this, but it's actually a pet peeve of mine. What most folks like, in terms of top of the line tuning sets, the overt OCD detail that pops out from everywhere of the sides of your head, I actually can't stand it. What ends up happening for that sort of stuff is it draws my attention away from the music that I love, and that's basically a no-go. Let me just show you this. So yeah, that's my little spiel on that. I'll get into that deeper later, but these don't have that. These have a very, uh, I would say Harman, but not quite, tuning, little diffuse field in there, and the biggest, thickest bores that you can find on the market. These are like Comply T600 smalls with, they're all chopped off. About the only thing I can use with these. I had to fight with these things for months and months to get them to fit right and seal right. 3 bores, 8 balanced armatures, all Knowles, I think. This came out maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. But in terms of the build quality, there is no flaws. There are no bubbles. There are no asymmetric parts if you compare both sets. Like, the upper top of the line Moondrop stuff is stunningly well created. And these in particular are just, geez, man, you can sit there and stare at them like little jewels or little, almost like diamonds or something. And they're flawless in every respect. So I don't see myself selling them. They're a good example of, a handmade headphone taken to the top degree of, well, maybe we won't say tuning, but at least of build quality. In terms of the tuning, I would put these a little further down on my list, mostly because, the mids are a hair dry compared to my top sets, and still a 10 millimeter dynamic driver will beat 2 of these Knowles, subwoofer balanced armatures. But overall, I mean, I think most folks that have heard other balanced armature sets would listen to this and go, holy smokes, how did they do that bass? It's just, oh, so, if you look up Clinical's review on these, he does say that the, mid bass is bloated on these. And that is, in fact, I believe, how they got the bass to hit as well as it does. There's quite a lot of air coming out of these, almost that vibration effect. So, I'm supposing that that's how they got it. They had to, up the mid bass just a little more than maybe some folks would like. I think actually I like a little more sub bass than mid bass, but these do not, sound bloaty or tubby in any way, shape, or form. I mean, you have 8 balanced armatures, 4 of which are from mids, so it's like, really, how much can the, bass bleed into the mids? Not a whole lot, really. So, do I recommend these? Hell yeah, I do. I think you can get them for like 600, maybe something a little bit less on the used market, but yeah, for an all balanced armature set, these are definitely a benchmark for me. Absolutely. And also for just the build quality and the just sheer gorgeousness of these things. I hadn't talked about them before, so I just wanted to go off a little bit. So pretty. All right. Okay, so then we have things that we've already talked about many times before. I won't talk about them too much. We have the, EJ07. This particular, let me see, this set is my, okay, this is not my golden pair. Golden pair meaning that I have one pair of these that sounds better than the other pairs I've heard. These are a good pair. I'm using crazy chopped, Comply tips. Absolutely nothing getting in the way of those bores, and that's the way I like it for these. Everybody knows these are my favorites. You can turn these up way past any other headphone. Probably you'll end up dancing or, throwing things against the wall when you're really rocking these out. They're the most fun set that I've ever heard while also being audiophile, and that's probably why I love them so much. I can listen to music that was created in the era where recording was bad. In other words, 50s, 60s, 70s on vinyl rips, things with, pops and scratches and clicks in it, just stuff that you maybe probably wouldn't listen to on a really OCD detail set, something maybe like a little less forgiving like the A8s. But these will make all of that musical. They will make you want to get up and rock your booty off. That's the EJ07, man. They're a music lover's set. Absolutely 100%. Unless, of course, you have some kind of Asperger's and you need your OCD detail to be able to enjoy music, which is not me. So this is not my golden set. The reason I know that is because they have fingerprints on the insides and kind of ugly, honestly. But who cares? My ears don't have eyeballs. Haha. This is my golden set. They are flawless. They are sparkly. No fingerprints. God, come on. No fingerprints. What's interesting on these ones, and I've talked about this to some folks that are good friends of mine, but the fill level on these is actually up quite a bit further than the non-golden pair set. Like, you could see that right there. That's a lot more fill. Now, the dynamic driver vents into the shell, and then there's a vent over here by the 2-pin connector, right about there, that has an actual a damper in it. So basically what I'm saying is the internal volume on this set is altered somewhat by the internal fill. And I did talk to Shure about this, and basically the engineer said, yeah, so what? It still measures the same. But I hear this set as having lower bass than this set. And this set is like, well, it's basically perfect. The bass never interferes with anything. It's not at a bass head level, but it's like perfect. Oh, wow. I'm just going to cut this off real quick. I don't have anything else to show you because that was basically all of my top sets as of right now. So have a great day, and I'll charge my battery back up and do another review. Take care.